Good morning student, and we are discussing about the chemical bonding. In last video we have completed the ionic bond and the covalent bond, as well as the drawback or the limitations of the Lewis dot structure. And today we will discuss about the another types of the bond, that is the coordinate bond, as well as the bond parameter like the bond length, bond enthalpy, etc. And one thing here, this is the lattice enthalpy. In the ionic compound, you have to discuss that is the formations of the ionic crystal or ionic compound by the interactions between the cation and anion and strong electrostatic force of attraction acting in between the ions, and formations of a solid compound takes place. During this, the energy is released, that is called the lattice enthalpy. So now first we will discuss about the lattice enthalpy. So lattice enthalpy or lattice in energy is defined as the lattice energy of an ionic solid. Lattice energy of an ionic solid is defined as the amount of energy released when the amount of energy released when 1 gram ion of 1 gram ion of cation and 1 gram ion of anion in gaseous state combine to form one mole of crystals or 1 mole of solid, 1 mole of crystals. This is called lattice energy or lattice enthalpy. Lattice enthalpy of ionic solid is defined as the amount of energy released when 1 gram ion of cation and 1 gram ion of anion in gaseous state combine to form 1 mole of ionic crystals, or crystals you can say. So that amount of energy releases during the formations of 1 mole of ionic solid from their gaseous constituent cation and anion is called the lattice enthalpy or lattice energy. Or you may also show that just like the whatever be the amount of energy releases during the formations of 1 mole of ionic solid from its gaseous cation and anion, the same amount of energy used to separate 1 mole of ionic compounds in their gaseous cation and gaseous anion. So it may also be defined as, lattice energy may also be defined as, one thing is clear, whatever be amount of energy released during the formations of 1 mole of ionic solid from its gaseous cation and anion, the same amount of energy required to dissociate the 1 mole of ionic solid into gaseous cation and anion. That is called the lattice energy or lattice enthalpy. So it may also be defined as lattice energy of ionic solid, the amount of energy or the amount of energy required to completely dissociate completely dissociate the amount of energy required to completely dissociate 1 mole of ionic solid, 1 mole of ionic solid into 1 mole of ionic solid into its gaseous cation and anion. Gaseous cation and anion. So it may also be defined in this manner: lattice energy, the amount of energy required to dissociate completely 1 mole of ionic solid into gaseous cation and gaseous anion is called the lattice enthalpy or lattice energy. For examples, just like sodium cation in gaseous form and the chlorine, this, you know that is the sodium ion and chlorine ion combined together to form the ionic solid. Just like here Na gaseous form and X minus also gaseous form, and formations of 1 mole of NaX, the amount of energy minus U releases during the formations of 1 mole of ionic solid from its gaseous cation and gaseous anion is called the lattice enthalpy or lattice energy. For example, that is the formations of 1 mole of sodium ion, 1 mole of sodium chloride from sodium cation and Cl minus anion, that is 758 kilojoule per moles. This is 758 kilojoule per mole. It means that amount of energy released during the formations of 1 mole of NaCl, and this amount of energy also required to dissociate 1 mole of sodium chloride into its gaseous cation and gaseous anion. This is called the lattice enthalpy and the lattice energy. So it is all about the cation and then ionic compound and the covalent bond. Now we will discuss the other types of bond formation in the ionic compound, that is in the organic compound, that is the coordinate bond. So it is the another types of the bond which is formed between the two atoms in a molecules. This is coordinate bond. Coordinate bond. It is shown by an arrow in this way, and it is also the special type of the covalent bond. What is the coordinate bond? Coordinate bond is the special type of the covalent bond. In the covalent bond, this is the mutual sharing of a pair of electron takes place between the two atoms in a molecule. However, in case of coordinate bond, that is the sharing of electron pair takes place by only one atom, not the mutual atom. That is called the coordinate bond. So coordinate bond, it is a special type of covalent bond, a special type of covalent bond in which sharing a pair of electron by only one atom. Means the bond which is formed by the sharing of a pair of electron by only one atom is called the coordinate bond. Is it clear? Sharing of electron by only one atom in a molecule is called the coordinate bond. Such type of bond is known as the coordinate bond. For examples, just like in case of ammonia, you know that NH3, how the NH3 formation takes place. You will see here, nitrogen, this is 7 atomic number, 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. So you will see in the outermost cells there are 5 electrons. So nitrogen having the 5 electron, which can be represented in this way. This is the 2 electron and the 1, 2 and 3. So what is the bond structure of ammonia. You will see here this is one electron, this is three unpaired electron and one lone pair of electron present at the nitrogen atom, and one more electron of hydrogen shared to the nitrogen. And this is the formations of ammonia. This is 2 to 4 to 6 and to 8 electron. So this 6 electron is called the bond pair of electron, and these 2 electron which is present as a non-bonding, which is known as the lone pair of electron. Is it clear? There are 8 electron, 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. Another compound we are taking here, this like boron trifluoride. Boron, their atomic number is 5. This is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1. So in the ground state electronic configurations, you will see there are 3 electrons in the outermost shells. So how many electrons required to achieve the stable structure? There are 5 electrons required. So this is 2s and this is 2p1. S having the 2 electron and p having the 1 electron in the ground state electronic configuration. So in this state, boron can form only one covalent bond with this unpaired electron. So far, achieving the stable structure, whatever the maximum capability to achieve the stable structure, atom expended their electron. So in the excited state, the 2s electron jump into the 2p electron. Now the electronic configurations of the orbital diagram of the boron is 1, 2 and 3. So there are 3 unpaired electrons in the outermost shells and one completely vacant orbital is available. So when boron share the 3 electron to another atom, it has the 6 electron and one lone pair of electron can be accepted in the completely vacant orbital. Is it clear? Just like in case of boron trifluoride, you will see. In case of boron, this is 1, 2 and the 3 and this is one completely vacant orbital. One electron shared with the fluorine atom, fluorine having the 7 electron, 2 to 4 to 6 and 1 7. This is one electron share here, 2 to 4 to 6 and 2 to 4 to 6 and 7. So one electron shared by the boron to the fluorine. Now after sharing the 3 unpaired electron, boron having 2 to 4 to 6 electron. So it is sort of the 2 electron to the octet structure, and it cannot extend or expand their other electron because the maximum capability can be shown by the boron. There are 2s electron jump into the 2p orbital. Now there is no other electron available for the boron to achieve the or share to the other element. So it depends upon the other element which can share a lone pair of electron and it can be accepted, which can be accepted in the vacant orbital of boron. Now the boron completed the octet structure. Just like ammonia having one NH3 and one lone pair of electron. So these lone pair of electrons share by the nitrogen only in this way. So arrow toward the boron which is accept a lone pair of electron and the end point which atom share the both the electron. So this is this type of bond. Formations of the coordinate bond in this way, NH3, this is BF3. So this bond is called the coordinate bond. So the bond in which sharing of electron pair takes place by only one atom, not mutual sharing, that bond is known as the coordinate bond. So there are 3 types of bond we have discussed. This is ionic bond formed between the two ions, that is cation and anion, and the covalent bond, this is mutual sharing of electron, formations of bond takes place, and coordinate bond. This is the special type of the covalent bond and the pair of electrons shared by only one atom, not both the atom. So such type of bond is called the coordinate bond. Next we will discuss about the bond parameters. This is bond parameters. In the bond parameter, first of all, we discuss about the bond length. So what is bond length? You know that Just like the two atoms, this is the nuclei, and the another atom in a molecule, it is another nuclei. So the equilibrium distance between the nuclei of the two atoms is called the bond length. What is the bond length? The equilibrium distance between the nuclei of the two atoms in a molecule is called the bond length. And this bond length measure in terms of the covalent radius, van der Waals radius, and so on. So what is bond length? The equilibrium distance between the nuclei of two atoms is called bond length. Which is measured in terms of the covalent radii and the van der Waals radii. We have discussed already in the classifications of element and periodic property. I would like to remind you again the bond length in terms of the covalent radius and the van der Waals radius. So this is covalent radius. What is covalent radius? Covalent radius. So you know that this is the nucleus of the one atom, and this is the nucleus of another atom in a molecule. This is the bond length, and half of the distance, one half distance, you can say that is as one half distance between the nuclei of the two atoms in a molecule is called the covalent radius. One half distance, this distance, half of this bond length is called the covalent radius. So it is defined as one half distance between the nuclei of two atoms in a molecules, between the nuclei of two atoms in a molecule is called covalent radii. It is clear? The bond length, and next one the covalent radii. One half the distance between the nuclei of the two atoms in a molecule. One half distance between the nuclei of two atoms in a molecule is called the covalent radii. For example, that is the covalent radius of chlorine. For example, covalent radius of chlorine how do you calculate? So bond length between the two chlorine atom in a molecule, this is 1.98 angstrom. That is 1.98 angstrom. So how do you calculate? This is 190 atm upon the half of this is 2. So 2 9 18 and 2 9 18. 99 angstroms. This is the covalent radii of the chlorine. Is it clear? The bond length of the two chlorine atom in a molecule, this is 1.98 or 198 pm. 198 pm, and this is 198 pm. In the pm is given 1.98 angstrom or 198 pm. So half of the distance, half means divided by 2. Now this is 99 pm. So this radii is known as the covalent radii. This is the radius of the chlorine atom in a molecules. Is it clear? One half the distance between the nuclei of the two atom in a molecule is called the covalent radii. Next one, van der Waals radii. Next one, van der Waal radii. So it is the total length of the molecules, and it is defined as the one half distance between the two neighboring atom of different molecules. This is one half distance between the nuclei of two adjacent atom. Again repeat it. One half the distance between the nuclei of two adjacent atom and belonging to the neighboring molecules. Distance between the two adjacent atom belonging to the neighboring molecules. Molecule is called van der Waal radii. Van der Waal radii. So you will see here, this is the one half the distance between the two adjacent atom of the neighboring molecules. That distance is known as the van der Waal radii. One half the distance between the two adjacent atom of the neighboring molecule is called the van der Waal radii. It can be expressed in this way. Just like the two molecules, adjacent molecules. This is the nucleus of one atom. This is nucleus. This half distance is called the covalent radii. One molecules. Now the adjacent molecule in this way. This is another molecules. This distance is called the covalent radii. And this distance, half of the distance, this is the bond length between the two neighboring atoms in an atom of a molecule. This distance is called the van der Waal radii. Half of this distance, two neighboring atom of the different molecule. This is the full length of the two adjacent atom in a molecules, and this half distance is called the van der Waal radii. This is called van der Waal radii. So these are the another parameters of the bond parameter is the bond angle. Is it clear? This is covalent radii, van der Waal radii, and the bond length. The equilibrium distance between the nuclei of two atom in a molecule is called the bond length. The one half the distance between the two atom in a molecule is called the covalent radii, and the one half the distance between the two adjacent atom of neighboring molecule is called the van der Waal radii. Next one, this is the bond angle. Next one, bond angle. So you know that bond angle in the three-dimensional space, how the angle formed between the two atom in a molecules, that is the angle formed between the two shared electron covalently bonded atom. So it is defined as the angle between the it is defined as the angle between the orbital containing bonding pair of electron, orbital containing bonding pair of electron is called bond angle. This is called the bond angle. Just like oxygen, this is one electron shared to the hydrogen. This is two lone pair. This is bonding pair of electron, and this angle formed between the two bonding pair of electron between the two orbitals. This is the 104.7 degree. This is called the bond angle. Is it clear? The angle between the orbital containing bonding pair of electron around the central atom in a molecules. You make added here bond molecule, bond of electron is called the bond angle. So bonding pair of electron to the central atom is called the bond angle. Is it clear? Next one, this is bond enthalpy. Next one, bond enthalpy. Or it is called the bond energy or the bond enthalpy. How do you define the bond enthalpy? And what is bond enthalpy? So, it is defined as the amount of energy required, just like the two atom, this and this. And this pencil show the bond length between the two atoms. So, what would be the energy of this bond? So, the amount of energy required to break this bond. This enthalpy means energy. The amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a bond in a particular type between the two atoms in gaseous phase, gaseous state, is called the bond enthalpy. It may be defined as in this way. It is defined as the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of bond in a particular type. To break 1 mole of bond of a particular type between the two atoms in gaseous phase, between two atoms in gaseous phase is called bond enthalpy. Just like 1 mole of a bond in this way, this is the two atoms are bonded to a bond here. So whatever be amount of energy required to dissociate or break 1 mole of a bond between particular atom in gaseous phase, the atom releases after the breaking in the gaseous phase, that amount of energy is known as the bond enthalpy. For examples, you can see here, just like the two atoms, just like in a two atom A2, it's a gaseous phase. Now it breaks, this is 1 mole, break into A gases and another A gases. So the delta H, whatever we release, that is called the bond enthalpy. For instance, just like breaking of 1 mole of hydrogen gas, in diatomic case we are taking, just like hydrogen gas, H2 gas, it breaks by heating H gas and plus H gas. This is the 2 mole of hydrogen and breaking here 1 hydrogen and 1 hydrogen. So this is delta H in this case, this is 435.8 kilojoule per mole. Delta H not equal to 435.8 kilojoule per mole. So that energy is called the bond enthalpy or the bond energy. Another examples you can take, just like the breaking of 1 mole of oxygen molecules. So what is the amount of energy required to breaking 1 mole of oxygen bond? That is called the bond enthalpy of oxygen. Just like in case of O2, O2 is bonded in this manner, double bond. This is the single bond, hydrogen bonded in the single way. Now this is the O2. So bond enthalpy increases as the bond number of bond increases between the two atoms. So as the number of bond increases, the bond distance decreases and bond enthalpy increases. Larger the bond length, lower the bond enthalpy, and the smaller the bond length, higher the bond enthalpy. So as the number of bond increases between the two atoms, their bond length decreases and bond enthalpy increases. In case of oxygen, you will see this is 498 kilojoule per energy releases when this oxygen releases in the form of oxygen gas and plus oxygen gas. See, delta H is not equal to 498 kilojoule per moles. Means 498 kilojoule per mole required to break 1 mole of oxygen bond between the two oxygen atom. So that amount of energy is known as the bond enthalpy. You will see here, in case of the single bond, this is 435. In case of the double bond, this is 498. So as the bond length decreases, bond enthalpy increases. Another example, that is the triple bond between the two atoms. In case of the nitrogen molecules. So in case of nitrogen molecule, this is 946 kilojoule per energy releases. Just like N2 gas. So you know that nitrogen is bonded to each other by the triple bond. So when nitrogen releases in the form of nitrogen gas plus nitrogen gas, this is delta S naught is equal to 946 kilojoule per moles. So that amount of energy, this amount of energy required to break 1 mole of nitrogen molecule into the nitrogen atom. So this is known as the bond enthalpy. This is the homoatom. Now in case of heteroatom, just like hydrogen chloride, in case of hydrogen chloride HCl, this is 431 kilojoule energy required to break 1 mole of HCl gas into the hydrogen and the chlorine gas. Just like HCl gas dissociated into the hydrogen gas plus Cl gas, this is 431 kilojoule per mole of energy releases. Delta H naught gas is equal to 431.0 kilojoule per moles. So this is the diatomic and the homoatom you have to see. However, in case of the, just like in case of the diatomic, we have to discuss when the number of bond between the just like the two or more bond present in the molecules. So in this case, we will take the average bond enthalpy. Just like in case of the water molecules we are taking here. Just like in case of water molecules, this is H2O gas. You will see HOH. There are two bonds present here. This is HOH. So first of all, it is dissociated in this way. H2O dissociated, H2O gas. This is OH gas and the hydrogen gas. In this case, delta H value, OH into the hydrogen. In this case, delta H value is equal to 502 kilojoule per mole. This is 502 kilojoule per mole. Now again this bond is break. Now this bond is break. Further, OH bond in gaseous form is dissociated into the oxygen gas and plus hydrogen gas. In this case, delta H naught value is equal to standard heat enthalpy. Delta H naught is equal to 427 kilojoule per mole. This is 427 kilojoule per mole. So what is the bond enthalpy of water? So in this case, you will see, you will take, this is the mean or average bond enthalpy. Whatever be the number of bond present between the molecule, all the bond energy is taken in the form of the mean or the average bond enthalpy. So average bond enthalpy of water, average bond enthalpy of water H2O is equal to 2 bond here. This is 502 plus 427 upon 2. You can calculate itself. This is the 502 plus 427. So this is 7 to 9 and 2 and 549 upon 2. So 2 4 ja 8, 2 6 ja 12. Now 2 4 ja 8.5. So this is 464.5 kilojoule per mole. This is 464.5 kilojoule per mole. So this is the another bond parameters, that is the bond enthalpy or bond energy. So is it clear? We have completed. This is the lattice enthalpy, coordinate bond, as well as the bond parameter like the bond length, van der Waals radii, covalent radii, and the bond enthalpy or the bond energy. In case of homoatom as well as the heteroatom having more than two bond present in the molecules, or more than one bond present in the molecules. Is it clear? So next one we will discuss another bond parameter like the bond order, resonance, etc. Is it clear? Thank you.